So we are going to start solving equations that take more than one step to get the variable by itself. So we'll review these one more time, the one-step equations, and then we'll get into the more complicated ones today after the opener. Let's start with the first one though here, where we're solving for a. When we want to solve for a, what do we need to do first? Alejandro?
Circle the variable.
Okay, so we'll circle the variable. That's just a reminder that we want to get that variable by itself, so we want to get the a by itself. And
line of equality.
Draw the line of equality. Okay, so we circle the variable, draw the line of equality, and then to get the a by itself, we're going to have to get rid of what?
24.
The 24. And how are we going to get rid of that 24?
Subtract.
Subtract it. So we're going to subtract 24. That'll cancel out the plus 24 here. But if we do it on the left side, we have to do it on the right side. So we subtract 24 over here. And on the left, those cancel, leaving the a all by itself. On the right, we need to subtract that. In the ones place, 7 minus 4 is 3, and 3 minus 2 is
1.
So we get a equals 13. Next one, we want to get the b by itself. So we'll circle that, draw our line of equality. This time we're multiplying, so to get rid of that times b, we need to divide. Some people are still wanting to show division like this. Okay, don't do that. First of all, that isn't what we want it. It isn't what we want it to be. We want this 3 divided by this 3, but not the other way around. When you're doing division, just make it simple and use a fraction bar. That's all you have to put for division. So fraction bar with a 3 underneath it, fraction bar with a 3 underneath it. So we're dividing by 3 on both sides. 3's cancel on the left, leaving what?
B.
On the right side, 21 divided by 3 is?
7.
All right. Then solving for c, we want to get that c by itself. So we'll circle the c, draw a line of equality. And to get the c by itself, we have to get rid of that 2. So we're going to multiply. That means c divided by 2, so the opposite of dividing by 2 is multiplying by 2. So we multiply by 2 on both sides. On the right, the 2's cancel, leaving what?
C.
C. On the left, we have, first of all, we have a positive times a negative is going to give us a negative, and 2 times 13 is?
26. Equals C. Negative.
Next one, we want to get the d by itself. So we'll circle that, draw our line of equality. We have d minus 4, so to get rid of the minus 4, we're going to add 4. So we add 4 on both sides. On the right side, those 4's cancel, leaving what? D. On the left side, we have a negative 12 and a positive 4. So are we going to add or subtract these?
Subtract.
We should subtract because one's positive and one's negative. Remember those rules for adding and subtracting. So we are going to subtract them. The bigger number's on top, so that's nice. 12 minus 4 is? 8.
Negative.
And then our answer is going to be negative because the bigger number is negative. So we subtract 12 minus 4, we get 8, and then we know it's going to be a negative 8 because the bigger number when we were subtracting was negative. Next one, we want to get the e by itself. So we'll circle that, draw our line of equality. And how am I going to get the e by itself here? Okay.
By negative 5.
Good. We need to multiply because that's the opposite of division. Don't forget, though, we need to multiply by the same number that we were dividing by. So we need to multiply by negative 5. A common mistake here is to multiply by positive 5 because positive is the opposite of the negative. Okay, don't do that. We need to multiply by the same number that it was divided by. So we multiply by negative 5 on both sides. The negatives and the 5's cancel each other out, leaving what?
E.
And on the right side, 7 times negative 5 is?
Negative 35.
Negative 35. All right, last one, we want to get the f by itself. This one's a little tricky because it's an addition problem, so we might want to subtract, but that would not be good. What do we need to do to get rid of this 12 here? We need to add 12. Why do we need to add? Because the 12 is negative. All right, so if we add a negative 12, to get rid of it, we need to do the opposite. So adding a negative 12 is the same as subtracting 12, so the opposite would be adding 12. So we're going to add 12 to both sides. 12's cancel, leaves f on the left side. On the right side, we have negative 1 plus 12. Is that 13?
11.
It's 11. Why?
Because it's 1 minus 12. Basically.
Yeah, well, one of the numbers is positive and one is negative, which means we're going to have to subtract, right? So since one's positive, one's negative, we subtract. Since the positive number is bigger, we subtract and we get a positive answer. So we get positive 11.